Okay, I want you to explain how Edo State, Kogi State, Benue State will be part of Biafra.
Let me tell you, if you come to international conventions, let me give you a reference to what happened in Israel when Israel came into existence, as a nation. In less than a few hours, Israel was announced a sovereign nation over
22 countries
attacked Israel at the same time. Thus, we are now an independent nation, and before bomb everywhere. Israel stood with nothing and defended themselves to the extent that they advanced beyond the UN recognized boundary. Okay, do you understand what I'm saying? And they took a particular position in those areas based on providing security for Israel. So we are not going to leave Amazonia for Cameroon. We are not going to leave the upland, the other side, for anybody, because it belongs to us. It's for the security of Biafrans. That is just it.
The border is in the middle belt.
We know that, according to, I don't want to mention name, but the junior brother of former deputy governor of Lagos State, when I was having a kind of interaction with him recently, he told me that he saw Biafran soldiers in Ondo State as a child. Do you know what it means? You know where Ondo is? Ondo is around Ore now. If I'm not mistaken, am I correct?
Ondo is having border with those states.
You understand? Inside their village, when they wake up in the morning, they will see Biafran soldiers, patrolling with their guns, waiting for, an advance instruction to move to Lagos. But you see what Victor Banjo and Ifajuna did somewhere along the line. But you know that those squads were the elite squad of the Biafran soldiers as at that time. That particular squad was the same squad that entered the Godomi. And in less than 24 hours, go and ask any Benin man, any Edo man, whether one person was killed in Edo State. Go and find out. They never killed anybody in Edo State.
They took over that land.
In less than 24 hours, the Benin Empire collapsed on the advancement of the Biafran soldiers. Irrespective, we know that the game the British played, it was our territory. We are eastern, the northern part of the old eastern region was now said, now Midwest, that. They will find out these things with time. So we advanced to a point where we found ourselves somewhere in Ondo State, particularly where the elite commander squad were on officers' mess, and the Nigerian troops came there and wasted them. That was how the fallback started. So, if you look at international war conventions, and treaties, we are supposed to annex Ondo State completely. That is truth. The Yorubas has never been involved in modern warfare. Igbos has been involved in modern warfare. We annex Ondo completely, and I keep on mentioning it. And them too, the Ondo people will be very happy to be associated. What are they telling you now? When Bola Ahmed Tinubu brought the issue of regionalism, did you hear what the indigenous people of Lagos State told him? He said Lagos State has a single status, and based on that, they will not be part of Southwest, because Southwest are not contributing anything to the development of Lagos. They will maintain the single status. They were not part of the amalgamation. So then how come then they want to claim Lagos and they don't want us to claim Benue, Niger, or anywhere we want to claim? We have right to claim it.
Anybody can come here during the war, nothing will happen.
Do you understand what I'm saying? The same way Northerners claimed Andamawa that belongs to Cameroonians. They did not claim Andamawa. Didn't you hear that they said that Atiku is from Cameroon? Didn't you hear it? they claimed it. So we must understand where we are and the kind of politics that was played in that era to just make sure that Igbo man does not see the light of the day.
Yes, that's the agenda.
But today, the joy is that those children of 1956-67, the remnants of that war, have risen and they're asking questions. Where is the country? And up to today, the whole world have never provided an answer to that. And that is why you see the likes of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, you are seeing the likes of Simon Ekpa, you are seeing the likes of so many of them all over the world, agitating to know what happened to the land of the rising sun.
Whoever that is unwilling to join Biafra, what will happen to?
Bro, this is not a matter of being willing or not. You cannot tell me that a geopolitical place of less than 3,000 or 4,000 people should be given sovereignty. The world doesn't reason it like that. America has 13 colonies. 13 colonies. And each colony is bigger than Nigeria. That's the fact. There's no country in this world without multi-ethnic nationalities, including Yoruba land, including Northerners. But the target is always how to make sure that those areas does not come together, because they know that the coming together would have been something else. And that's what Biafra stood for. Biafra means come together. Buy. What's the meaning? Buy is for two.
Biafra.
Two. Anything two. So it takes two to work together. That it does it. So we need to understand that this is not a matter of colonization. This is not a matter of what you are benefiting from oil. This is not a matter of some of the things. Some of our brothers from the South said, we are South. They don't even know the meaning of South. We are Niger Delta. They don't even know the meaning of Niger Delta. The idea, I said, when the time comes, you will know that it's not Sadido Kubo then that you will see that time. It's not Tombolo then you will see that time. It's not the likes of Wike you will see that time. You saw what the governor of Rivers State did. He made an Igbo man commissioner, and somebody from the north.
He's annoyed.
He's annoyed.
Can you imagine? And Rivers State is 90% Igbo.
No, wow. What is the justification of that? So it is the same thing that we have been, facing that made it an Igbo coup. We must find out the truth. The same thing is still playing down to this moment where we find ourselves, where a certain Arab Yorubas will come out and say Igbo must go. It's still playing out. And somebody in the presidency is saying that Obi behind the protest. We later find out Obi is not the protest, behind the protest. But now, I think the Northerners are ready to fly another flag in Nigeria. Yes. And we must understand that it is time for balkanization of this country. And they will tell you, this is British colony. We have Biafran colony, and the Biafran colony is the oldest. It's older than Nigerian colony. So we must stand on that truth, because there's no how you are going to change it. There's no how, it has no manipulation. So for us to return all the Biafran colonies attached to the Biafran territory and entity, including our airspace and our maritime, well, I'll tell you that in just no distance time, that arrangement, that divinity, that divine arrangement God has destined Biafra for, we just manifest in a twinkle of an eye. I told you, it's about 4 kingdoms that the Bible predicted. The 4th kingdom is going to emerge from Africa, and that is where the Biafra quest, comes in quietly and perfectly and very, very significant and active, to the admiration. See, the white men are going to be surprised that some of the things they felt that they have achieved in terms of innovation. Let me tell you, before civilization came, our fathers discovered some certain things by themselves. Our fathers discovered how to feed themselves. Not Oyibo taught them how to feed themselves. Our fathers discovered how to go to farm, how to create a culture, how to make a living. Not Oyibo teach us that one. Oyibo didn't teach us all that. So that means that African man, at a point, we are very creative, we are very innovative. African man invented a lot of things. Go to your house now. Check all the things that's inside your house now. They are all creation of the Western world. What has the black man created? And that is why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said, until Biafra rises, Africa will not rise. So, we are going to change direction. No, there's no two ways about it. And that direction now is going to give us all the Biafran colonies, wherever they are. We don't care to know. Including Amazonia. Yes, they know. There has been relationship based on that. There has been a kind of formation and agreement, bilateral, is going on. Exchange of views is going on. How is it going to work? But I know that at every point in time, when the time comes, there is going to be an order in that regard. And these are the areas we need to make sure that, because you don't know what will become of the world in the next 100 years. Just like what the British government did. Say after 100 years, do you know somebody that suggested that in the House of Commons? The family that suggested that this people you people are doing, this thing you people are doing, please let us put a clause that after 100 years, this thing does not look very clearly. It's not clear. They can go their separate ways. But because they know the Nigerian, the northern part of the country and the west are feeding cow on the resources of that land. The territorial waters, boundaries, before and after the Portuguese left, the French came in, the Germans came in, and of course, the British system came from nowhere and began to do some funny things in that regard. If you look at it very well, we have the southern Benue is there. We have at Nasarawa, Adamawa, that was part of Cameroon, that was ceded. So the entire old East Central states have that expansion to Niger. So, and that is what we are presenting to the world currently now. That is the map we are presenting to the world now. And because of our position that is very close to the coastal Mediterranean, Atlantic, and Pacific Ocean, we need to have an alliance or bring in, or create a kind of referendum where Amazonia, that was part of the Biafran land before referendum was given to them by the British government. You see, that thing that happened there was played by Britain, because you can see that the Francophone countries that surrounded the Biafran enclave as at that time, had this Amazonia. So because of the British interest and what they wanted to do to stop the advancement of Igbo man, because they see Igbo man as a major challenge during that era to stop colonization of Africa. They saw Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe as a major threat. They saw Jaja Nwachukwu as a major threat. They saw one Njoku, if I can remember his name, some of those men, they were of Igbo extraction that had a synergy, a kind of understanding with the then Ghana Pan-Africanist Kwame Nkrumah. These people, looking at them as at that time, the British saw that Igbos are at the front burner of Britain. Africa must be independent. And they look at the vast investment, they look at so many things they have invested, so many things, and they felt that these people, how did they manage to get this kind of, awareness? And that was the beginning of what is happening today. They fought 30 to 40 years to defeat the Biafrans. Took them 30, 40 years. The northern part of the country, according to Lord Lugard, was very easy. It was just like a workout. But the southwest, I repeat, the southwest, the Yorubas, what they did was to write them officially to come and colonize them.
The southwest roads.
The histories are there. We know what happened. The histories are there. Don't you know that? Do you know the reason why? When they were trying to have territory, protectorate, northern protectorate, southern protectorate, when they were negotiating these things, there was no Igbo man invited. We must tell ourselves the truth. But thank God that the Portuguese themselves, left a reference point, left a research work on ground that people have now come to begin to look at it thoroughly, and they begin to wonder how come the Igbo nation, a vast Igbo nation, become 5 states. Even up to this point, they keep on, how will I put it? They keep on stripping the Igbo of their territorial heritage.
We have southwest, southeast and south-south.
It's the part of it. What is south-south? They said it's Niger Delta. They said, and most of them too, if you look at them very well, you'll be surprised at what they say at some point. Someone like Burna Boy, when he won the Grammy, he came out and said, he told Wike, I am not somebody from Ikwere. I am an Igbo man. Most of them still have those understanding till tomorrow. Look at Sarowiwa, the school in government college here. All of a sudden they started denying their Igbo heritage. All the properties owned by Ojuku's father in Port Harcourt, this same Sarowiwa turned it to abandoned property immediately after the war.
And he died. He died woefully. Sarowiwa died. The useless.
So so these are some of the things. When we look at it, we begin to document it from one point to another. This is not a time to hide the truth.
Yes.
We cannot continue to hide the truth. The world must know it, either by commission or by omission, whichever way. They will need to understand that what happened in 1966, 15 January 1966, was not an Igbo coup. It was purely a military affair.
So that they will reduce us.
So they keep on, telling you that this one is Niger Delta. They keep on telling you that this one is this one is this. They keep on reducing the Igbo influence. But today, thank God for somebody like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that came out. You can see what Simon Ekpa did a few days ago. He was able to talk to the northern Hausas themselves. Bros, the truth must come out. There are the ones that the Danjuma and Gowon is sitting on must come out one day. You will now discover that the coup that was supposed to be carried out that would have turned Nigeria completely to Islam was stopped when Chukwumanzogu executed the 15th January coup 1966. If they have allowed that one to happen, because that very coup was powered by Britain themselves, again, everything about them is being targeted against the Igbo. So what you will see Ahmadu Bello projecting is that the whole territory, everywhere, including, is by force Islamized. But Chukwumanzogu, a lot of people don't know what Chukwumanzogu did. They say na Igbo coup. But when IBB them, Abacha them, Buhari them struck You didn't hear Gwari. You didn't hear Gambari. You didn't hear all those kind of rubbish things. The British government, they were there. They were looking. Nobody said anything. Then for you to become president in Nigeria, you have to go to Chatham House in London. And if you don't go there, no president for you. What does that tell you? It tells you, you know, of what happened before independence and after independence. So, and that is why you are seeing, you know, the alliance with the British system is moving gradually away from their hands.